Oh my god, hi! It's Big Fish back with another epic video. This time it's week 2 of GBC. That's right, we're back. Less than a week, fresh off the battle. Your boy, he's got a team for you. Now this team had a lot of last minute changes that I will also discuss. But yeah, this battle's it's a bit of a weird one. So I think I'll just get right into it. So first up, I noticed that this team has a hole with Archeops, right? It's super weak to rock and earthquake, or earth power, as you can see, mine's special. But it has a big weakness to rock and ground, outside of like the 2 grass types down here, which don't really mind. I didn't mean to do that. Outside of the 2 grass types that don't really mind, but everything else has a weakness. But I also happen to notice, here's your physical tank, here's your other physical tank, and your special tank doesn't actually exist. So I thought, I can go into this game with special Archeops and just tear holes. Meteor Beam comes in, unless it's like Duraludon, or Duraludon, Quagsire, or again one of the 2 grass types, everything's dead. Everything dies to Meteor Beam. And anything that doesn't die to Meteor Beam probably dies to the impending Ancient Power or Earth Power that comes in afterwards at +1. It's brutal. It is very, very brutal. Now, in that last slot, at first I had Air Slash. It's no question why Air Slash is good. Here's your special tank Go-Go right here. Air Slash just deals with that problem. However, there was another problem that I did experience in mock battles. This thing ran a Choice Scarf most of the time. This thing can potentially run a Choice Scarf. And this thing can get to +1 speed very easily and knock me into Defeatist. Only Duraludon actually picks up the 1 hit, but the other 2 100% knock me into Defeatist, and if both of them come to this battle, then they can just knock me out entirely in a late game, if they're both alive. So I said, Go-Go isn't as much of a threat as Typhlosion Yanmega Duraludon. What I should do is I should run Agility, and that way there is no chance in hell any of those Scarfers are going to be outspeeding me. There is one small issue that comes with that as well. This thing just has Accelerock, but we'll get to that later. Next up, we have the Golurk. Oh, poo, I didn't mean to do that. Golurk also has had a last second change. So the point of Golurk was basically hit hard. Same as last week, but I removed the choice band. It has Cassib Berry here so that it can live a Typhlosion Shadow Ball. I did, however, also consider running the Pasho Berry to live a hit from Swanna and Quagsire, because, believe it or not, Swanna is actually a menace in this matchup. Then we have the Dipplin. Actually, wait, why am I moving on so fast? Heavy Slam and Grass Knot. I don't think it's a question what they're doing. Heavy Slam 2-hit KOs defensive Wheezing, and Grass Knot 2-hit KOs defensive Quagsire. Now you might notice my nature is plus attack lower speed, and I have 188 speed EVs. Funnily enough, I learnt that running that EV spread is actually more bulky than just having a bunch more EVs in HP defense and special defense, but with a negative nature. So I decided that running more speed and giving a negative nature was actually more beneficial to me. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird to me as well, but it works. Next up, we have the Dipplin. No, I still have more to say about Golurk. What's wrong with me? Cassibberry is what I changed last second. At first I had Lumberry because I did not want to be Will-O-Wisped by the Typhlosion or the Wheezing. However, I came to realise that this team has two consistent T-Spikers. More often than not, Golurk would be poisoned, and I'm less concerned about a poison than I am a Shadow Ball. Now I can move on to Dipplin, who also had a last second change. So the Dipplin, as you can see, is just super duper bulky. Dragon Tail just funnels things around. Sucker Punch can catch a Typhlosion off guard if need be. But it can also be good for like low health threats like Yanmega, Lycanroc, whatnot. And then Giga Drain, which is just a good stab move, kills Lycanroc, kills Quagsire, and kind of annoys other things as well. It's not really here to do damage. It has no invest in damage. Again, it's a little bit of speed invest with a negative nature. This one isn't as jarring to look at as Golurk's. It's basically just outspeeding no invest Quagsire, which is what I tend to expect. There really isn't too much to say about it. It's a physical tank. Golurk, Carnivine, and Lycanroc are not breaking through this thing, unless it's like Choice Band Play Rough Lycanroc. That is pretty devastating, but yeah, that would be pretty devastating. Yeah, there's not really an argument against that. Or even Life Orb Play Rough, which I don't think this Lycanroc was running in the battle, but if it was, I think that's a potential way around Dipplin, but not this time. So I'll move on. The last second change I had to Dipplin, by the way, was before I had just like 244 EVs in defense and no special defense, but I realized, yeah, having the special defense is like good because the team is so specially offensive. Like if you look at it, Duraludon doesn't really want to run physical. It can, it probably won't. That's a Quagsire. It's invalid as an offensive threat. Then you have Typhlosion, Yanmega, Wheezing, Dedenne, Swanna. They're all special. Go-Goat's, like, it is physical, but Go-Goat's not good. Same with Carnivine. Lycanroc is really the only physical threat on this team, so I figured I can run a lot less defensive EVs and just run mostly Spadef, and you can see it in this battle. I am running mostly Spadef. So moving on, we are running a full Cleric Wigglytuff this week. Obviously, last week we had that special offense sash counter with like Wish chucked on the end. This week we're running Wish, Teleport, Alluring Voice, and Shadow Ball. Again, Shadow Ball is just for the Typhlosion. I would have ran Psychic, but it turns out Shadow Ball doesn't do that much damage, so Psychic really doesn't do that much damage, and therefore Shadow Ball is just better. But basically the point is, I come in, I kind of click Wish, I kind of click Teleport, and I kind of heal up whatever I want. Like, again, same with the Dipplin, there isn't too much to it. There wasn't any last second changes. It's just a good special tank. It comes in on Shadow Balls, it comes in on Bug Buzzers. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Now, this one's a fun set. Assault Vest, Parliament House. My father, Parliament House. So as you can see, it's quite bulky with a lot less attack and speed investment. I assume the speed I think was to outspeed max speed Duraludon. Yep, that's right. I ignored Yanmega, I ignored Typhlosion, and I ignored Swanna. All because I went, if they're coming to this game, they're probably going to be running pretty offensive Scarf or Speed Boost sets anyway. There isn't any point in trying to outspeed them. Of course, Swanna could be defensive, but if it is defensive, it loses all of the offensive output that it actually can thrust onto my team. So I'm just going to outspeed the Duraludon, and if those three things are faster than me, well, they were going to be faster than me if I ran max speed Jolly anyways, so I don't care. And yeah, it's got 4 attacks, it's pretty good. Trailblaze will hit the Quagsire, Stone Edge will hit the Swanna. Stomping Tantrum will hit the Duraludon, it'll hit the Typhlosion, it'll hit the Lycanroc, and it will also hit the Wheezing if it has neutralizing gas. But let's all be real with ourselves, it's probably going to be running Levitate, so I don't know, it hits the Dedenne as well, I suppose. And then Sacred Fire just hits everything else. I believe it does more damage to Duraludon, and it can burn it, which is pretty helpful. Does more damage to Wheezing, Go-Goat, and Carnivine as well, of course. As well as the Yanmega. So that's the general gist of the Entei. It's there to come in on Duraludon. It takes like 35 from a Draco, I believe, if it's Eviolite, of course, Eviolite Modest. If it was Spexed, then that would be a bit more of a tricky predicament, but when things are Specs, you can play on predictions. It's also good at coming in on Yanmega Bug Buzzers, same with the Wigglytuff. It's good for the Wheezing Strange Steams, and it's also good for the Typhlosion Eruptions and Flamethrowers and Fire Blasts and what have you. So I feel pretty good about the Entei set. I think it's pretty funky. I think it's something you wouldn't typically expect whilst not really being unexpectable. Like, it's not ridiculous, but it's really good. So, yeah, I'll take that. This Starmie. Okay, basically, I'm running Illuminate. Shit. Alright, I went into that battle with the wrong ability. It's fine. This Starmie is basically the same set as last week. It also had a last second change. I changed out Ice Beam for Surf. But as you'll see in the battle, it did not matter anyway, because I never even clicked Surf. Basically, the point was, this team has no Dark type, this team has no Psychic Resist outside of Duraludon. I'm just gonna spam Psychic. I'm gonna Psy-spam the fuck out of this team with Starmie, and there is nothing they're gonna do about it. If I need to get rid of hazards, it's the same concept. Anytime hazards go on the field, I'm clicking Rapid Spin. Why do I need to get rid of hazards? Because I actively have an Archeops and an Entei that don't have heavy-duty boots. Same as last week where I needed to get rid of it for Wigglytuff. I have things that don't want to be hurt by rocks this week, and this team can pretty consistently set up Stealth Rocks, so that's very important. Flip Turn, good pivot. As I said, Psychic's hitting everything. The difference between Surf and Ice Beam is Ice Beam is good for the Duraludon switch-in. Duraludon probably finds itself pretty free to come in on Starmie and click like Thunderbolt or even Draco. So I wanted to be able to have Ice Beam just to hit the Duraludon for about, I think it's like 40%. So if it comes in on a Psychic, it's probably taken about 20-ish, and then, yeah, after a few times of chip, it will go down to an Ice Beam. In the end, I kind of realized, due to the Entei, Duraludon wasn't that threatening. However, Lycanroc is a lot more threatening, and being able to Surf one-hit KO it is good. But even more threatening than Lycanroc, and you can see this team has so much prep for this Pokemon. Typhlosion. It one-hit KOs me. It does good damage to Parliament House with Shadow Ball. It hits Wigglytuff hard with Eruption. It's basically one-hit KOing Dipplin. It's basically one-hit KOing Golurk until I put the berry on it, and it completely ruins Archeops as well. So I wanted to just have Surf to be able to guarantee a one-hit. I think that was a poor decision. I think I should have run Ice Beam, even if I never clicked the move regardless of what set I ran. I think Ice Beam is better, so yeah, I think that's important to note. Now, let's get into the battle, shall we? Look at this whole ass team over here. The first thing you'll notice is I spent so much time talking about Typhlosion, and motherfucker didn't even bring it. Where is it? I don't see it. I must be blind. And where's Duraludon? That's the ace mon right there, and he's sat on the bench. To be fair, I did sit Dipplin on the bench last week, and that is like one of the main parts of my core. But that's not the point. You should bring what I expect you to bring, even if this team looks better for me to deal with. Basically, what I was expecting was Wheezing guaranteed, Lycanroc pretty much guaranteed. You bring one or both of Quagsire and Swanna, they're both really good against me. I didn't particularly expect Go-Goat, but as a way around special Archeops, as a way around Earthquakes and Starmie, it does make sense when you look at it. I can see why you're there as a special tank. Um, Yan Mega, I feel like, has the potential to be really good in this matchup, but on paper, it just doesn't look that good, in my opinion. So maybe you could have dropped that one for Duraludon or Typhlosion, but I feel like you have to have Duraludon and or Typhlosion because they're just so good. But I'm not going to question the thought process and logistics behind my opponent's team. If my opponent thought that was the best team to bring, then that's the best team to bring. So I'll jump right in. I led with Starmie this week. Last week I led Golurk to stop potential Scarf Tyrantrum, and it went very poorly. This week I led Starmie. I said, okay, the only thing you can really lead with that will threaten me out is this Yan Mega, and my team is full health. I'm not really scared of a Yan Mega right now, let's be real. So we got the Swanna lead. Swanna switched out, I believe... Did I just turn one Psychic as Swanna? That's bold. That is bold of me. I really was not expecting to do that. I thought I was just gonna switch. It's crazy how I don't remember a battle that happened like 10 minutes ago. Basically, Psychic just did half to Swanna, and I was like, what's it going to do? Hurricane? And then the second time it comes in, I Psychic again, and I could have killed the Swanna. For some fucking reason, I'm a brain dead motherfucker. I don't notice the leftovers recovery, and I'm like, it can still be Scarf, and I've just come to realize it learns knockoff. What am I doing? That was the freest kill of all time right there. Swanna, dead. I don't know if, I think, what did I do, 56? I think I do like 49 to 57, so I think it is ever so barely a roll. I think Swanna has the slimmest of chances to live by the skin of its teeth, but overall Swanna was gonna get punished for staying in there. But for some reason my brain was like, what if it's Choice Scarfed? I don't know. Bad move, mistake on my part. The item I lose, heavy duty boots. But yeah, that's bad by me, and it ends up with Wigglytuff getting thing. I didn't think it was Scarf, I just thought it was flip turning, but I fucking kill it from that. What am I on about? Bro, I don't know. I don't know what my brain is thinking. There was no thoughts. Archeops gets a kill at least. Lucky me. I switch out into Dipplin, of course, it's the Lycanroc counter. It switches out, so no play rough. I just click Giga Drain. So he then doubles. So that's two really good predictions by my opponent. Well done. It doesn't put him in that much of a better position. I kind of just bring in Starmie, and again, you have to figure out what you want to take a Psychic with. Now, after that Spadef drop, I do wonder, how much was Ice Beam going to do here? I'm not going to calc it because I'm too lazy, but I am very curious. I am very curious, because if Ice Beam was picking up a KO here, I'm very upset with myself for dropping it. Dripplin comes in, doesn't care. I click Entei. Okay, so we'll ignore that. Backyard. Yan Mega comes in, and I double into Entei. Now, I didn't expect Yan Mega to come in. I was expecting the Wheezing to come in, and I was like, oh yeah, I can just Sacred Fire that. And I was like, that's a bit of a safer switch than going into Golurk. Or the Starmie, because if I was wrong, I was taking big damage from a Leaf Blade. So that, yeah, this was like the safest option that kind of deals with Wheezing. But I got the best possible switch in. The Yan Mega coming in was massive, and it basically allowed me to pick up a KO on Quagsire. I think my opponent just forgot about Trailblaze existing, because otherwise they probably would have went into the Wheezing. and they do now, of course. I do about 32, which tells me it's max fizz def, and I've been poisoned. I go into the Go Lurk, expecting a sludge bomb. It clicks strange steam. I hit myself. Funnily enough, if I happen to, like, clearly this thing doesn't have a Will-O-Wisp, I don't mind Toxic that much. If I happen to have the Lumberry over the Kazib for the Typhlosion that didn't even show up, I would have shaken off the confusion, not taken, like, however much I took from fucking confusion. That's like 27? No, 17. Yeah. I would have not taken the 17 from confusion, and then I would have hit it with a heavy slam for about 55%. And that Wheezing did not see that shit coming. It clicked taunt. What a dumb. No offense. What is taunt expecting, actually? Stealth Rocks? What is Golurk gonna... Bulk up, maybe? I don't know. I don't know why you clicked taunt there. But, ignoring that, now I hit this thing with a heavy slam instead. I could have completely removed Wheezing from this game. Its last move is probably some shit like Pain Split. I don't think it has Sludge Bomb. It would have clicked it against the Entei. I would have been in such a good position if I had Lumberry here. Same with I could have been in such a good position if I had Ice Beam still. So far, I'm 2 from 2 on bad drops. We go into Diplin, of course. Immune to the Leech Seed. And do I just Giga Drain for good damage? Go into this saying, okay, it doesn't have the thing. Alright, this bastard right here has confused me with Strange Steam twice, which I believe is 30%. One of the times I'd done hit myself, and it was with the physical attacker as well, so fuck you, Wheezing. And you also picked up a crit on Wigglytuff. I should have expected Taunt, I forgot about it. Bit of a dumb move there to stay in, I could have hit the double. So obviously, Starmie's now low health. We hit Psychic, another Spadef drop, that won't really matter. Yanmega comes in, clicks the Bug Buzz, and now, because of Protect, it can kind of Toxic Storm me a little bit. And actually here, I believe that Air Slash onto Assault Vest Entei at this health is a 50-50 roll. It might be slightly in my favour, it might be slightly in their favour, I don't quite know. But it was around the 50-50 roll. So, basically I was like, alright, you can KO Entei and I'll just go into Archeops, I'll take whatever hit you throw, because you're not one-hit KOing. And if you do switch out, you're switching out into an Ancient Power, which you don't really want to do. So I feel pretty good about that kind of a play. Instead, Air Slash misses, and I just pick up the KO on the Yanmega, which is pretty funny. And then I'm like, oh, you're giving me Go-Goat too, and it had Leech Seed Protect. So Entei does go down, it's not a 6-0, yippee, life is good. I bring in Diplin, and I expect the Wheezing, so I double out into Golurk, ready to hit that Heavy Slam. Except I don't Heavy Slam, I Poltergeist. My thought process here is, if I Heavy Slam into a Go-Goat, Go-Goat forces me out, and then you can double into Wheezing, and then the position just gets a bit precarious again, and I don't really want the position to get precarious. So Poltergeist is the best all-rounder move here. I hit this thing for about 40 still regardless, and I take a Strange Steam, so I can take a Strange Steam and then Heavy Slam the next turn, or even just Poltergeist twice, get this thing low health. Yeah. So that's what I was scared of, that's why I Poltergeist here instead of just clicking Heavy Slam for the 2-hit KO. I don't think there's anything else really to say about that. I think that's the whole thought process. So he poisons. He doesn't switch, unfortunately. And Heavy Slam won't pick up the KO either, and that means Golurk now dies this turn to Toxic. However, at this point, I realise that the game is over. Wheezing has now taken way too much damage. It can't 1v1 Dipplin anymore. And Lycanroc and Go-Go definitely cannot 1v1 Dipplin. So I basically win the game. I go into Archeops, and realistically, I click Ancient Power. If you go into Lycanroc and I don't get the boost, I just go into Dipplin, and then you can go back into Wheezing, but you are not taking Giga Drains at this range, so that's a win. If I do get the boost, obviously I sweep. Even after an Accelerock putting me into defeatist range, I should be KOing the rest of this team with Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam on the Go-Goat, and then Ancient Power the Wheezing. If you go into Go-Go on the Ancient Power, I just Meteor Beam you next turn and win. And if you stay in with Wheezing, I KO the Wheezing and then Dipplin sweeps. So I was completely safe at this point in the battle. So that's what I do. I go into Archeops. The Lycanroc does come in, and as you see, I do get the boost. Here my opponent decides not to Ancient Power. I mean, not to Accelerock, sorry. My only guess is he noticed that, hey, Accelerock isn't going to kill Archeops, Stone Edge can, and that's my only hope. But I mean, I don't know, a bit of a silly move, to be honest. You kind of just, yeah, you're pretty free to just click Accelerock there. Put me into defeatist at least, and then maybe Go-Go can live a hit. I don't know. It doesn't, I don't think. Maybe it does. Maybe it does live a hit if I'm in defeatist. Maybe that thing just doesn't even have Accelerock. I didn't consider that. I just assumed of course it would. So Meteor Beam will KO the Go-Go here. And for good measure, the Wheezing will also die to Ancient Power, and to rub salt in the wound, I get another Ancient Power boost. Really just to wave fucking Archeops in my opponent's face. Suck my dick, is what Archeops said right there. Why does Archeops not have a nickname? Where is my boy's nickname at? Ayo, hold up, hold up. What? No, Archeops? Where's your nickname? Oh no. Oh, this has ruined my day. My day has been ruined. I'm out of here.